Good morning Year 5 and welcome to day 4 of our week on shape, space and measure. Here are your answers from yesterday. So you might want to pause the screen and check your answers and then we will move on to fluency. Okay, so here are your fluency questions for today. Pause, give yourself 5 minutes. And here are the answers. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at coordinates. Now we did cover coordinates back at the end of the autumn term, but I'm going to start back at the beginning just in case. So coordinates are a way to describe where something is on a grid. So we're going to start with a grid in what we call one quadrant, which is just positive numbers to start with. This axis along the bottom, this horizontal axis, is sometimes called the x-axis. The vertical axis is sometimes called the y-axis. You remember that x comes before y in the alphabet, so we use x before y. Or lots of people use along the corridor, then up or down the stairs, to remember that they go along first and then up or down. Okay, so just so this is a recap then, we're going to just list the coordinates on this treasure map, so to speak. Okay, so coordinates are always written in this way. You have a bracket either end and a comma in the middle, and then you've got two numbers, and one number tells you where the item is on the x-axis and one tells you the y-axis. So let's have a look at these. If you want to pause and have a go yourself first, you can, or you can go through it with me. So the mountains, there are two mountains. Let's do this one first. To get to this mountain, we go along to 2 and up to 2. So the coordinate of that mountain is 2, 2. This one, we start at the origin, that's what we call this point at 0, 0. We go along 3 and we go up to 1. So the coordinates of the mountains are 2, 2 and 3, 1. Now I'm going to work out all the other coordinates, and if you, as I said, you can pause or you can watch the video as I go through it, and then we'll move on to the next stage. Okay, so that's how we plot some coordinates. Right, what else it could be helpful to do is if we can actually plot the coordinates onto a grid. So this is the same grid, it goes along to 10 and up to 10. I'm just going to show you how you might plot the coordinates here to create a shape. So the first coordinate is 5, 9. So we go along to 5. Now it could be helpful to have a ruler here. So you go along to 5. So we're going to be on this line somewhere. This is the line that's 5. And then up to 9. So if we were, and we don't do this, but if we were to draw a line from this cross, it would cross 5 at the bottom and 9 at the side. I tick them out off as I go, just to make it a bit easier. 2, 7, 2, along 2 and up 7. And then I'm going to join them as I go. That's that one done. 2, 2, 2, 2. Join that as I go. 8, 2, along 8 and up 2. And join it as I go. And then 8, 7, along 8, up 7. Join it up. And then it's a polygon, so I need to close it at the end. And this shape is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-sided shape. So it is a pentagon. It's not a regular pentagon. but it is a pentagon. Okay, so that's what it looks like on one quadrant. Now, sometimes though, we will get a 4-quadrant grid that looks like this. Now, we've done negative numbers a few weeks ago. It's exactly the same. This is like a number line, but this time it doesn't start at 0. It starts at -5 and then it comes through. Same for this vertical axis, the y-axis. It goes from 0, 5 to 5. So I'm just going to plot these points and talk you through it so you can see how it works and how it's the same or different to what we've done before. So the blue point is at 2, 5. So we go along 2, and because it's a positive number, we're going in the right direction, and then we go up 5, and we do a little cross where the lines meet to show you where it goes. Okay, the green one next. This one has got a negative. It's -3, 4. We're going along first. So -3 actually tells us we're going 3 to the left. So we're going to -3, but then it's a +4, so we go up to 4. Okay, so if it was crossing the line, it would cross the x-axis at -3 and the y-axis at 4. Purple now, 1, -3. So it starts at 0, we go along first to 1, and then it's -3, so it's down, like that. The orange point is -4, -1. So I'm going to start at 0, I'm going to go along first to -4, then I'm going to go up or down, in this case it's down, to -1. Okay, and you can use a ruler just to line it up to check if you want to. Yellow. Now I put this one in on purpose, or these next two, because sometimes it can be a bit confusing when you've got a 0 in there. So this yellow one, we start at 0, the origin, 0, 0. We go along to 0, which means we don't go along at all. And then we go up to 2. And then the pink one is the other way round. We start at the origin, we go along 3, and we don't go up or down. So our point goes there. Okay, one last one to go through together. This is a parallelogram that I have just plotted onto a grid. So let's just make sure we know how to write those coordinates. A is this one here. So if I was going from the origin to A, go along first, I'll go along to -3 and then up to 2. B, starting at the origin, or 0, 0, go along to 3 and up to 3. C, starting at 0, 0, I go along 3 and down to -1. And then D, starting at 0, I'm going to go to -3 first and then down to -2. Okay, now it's your turn. So you've got a couple of activities to do. I appreciate if you're not printing out the sheets, it could be quite difficult, but you could copy the grid quite easily. Just a 10 by 10 grid. That's page 1 and page 2 there for you. And then I'll be back tomorrow with your answers.